Hey friends, welcome back to Spiritual Solitude with Soleil, a space where I share my thoughts directly from my mind to the mic. Whether you're returning or brand new here, thank you for joining me in this sacred little corner of peace and reflection. I see you, I appreciate your support, and I just want to ask, how are you really doing today, like for real? This space is all about compassionate healing and applying biblical truth in a modern, raw, and honest way, especially for us young people, because let's be honest, sometimes church stories are told in ways that feel so far removed from our everyday lives. Like it doesn't feel modern, maybe it's the older people in the church telling it in their own version, but what if they weren't? What if we talked about them in relatable ways for us as young people to digest? So today, let's talk about the real reason God told Lot's wife not to look back. And no, it's not just because she was disobedient. You might think you know the story, but I promise, today I want to talk about my personal opinion of why there's more. This isn't just about ancient cities, fire and brimstone, or a woman turning into a block of salt like some divine magic trick. This is actually about you, about me, about healing, about why we stay stuck, about that one moment where our past calls us and we feel the urge to turn around. I mean, let's be real. Growing up, this story low-key scared me. Lot's wife turning into salt? It gave Thanos snapping his finger energy, like poof, you're gone. 1 second, you're a whole human. The next, you're seasoning. It felt intense, almost too intense. But today, I want to soften the blow and dive into the compassionate reason God said, don't look back. We're going to break this down spiritually and psychologically so it actually makes sense in our lives. Stay tuned. Let's give this story some context, shall we? So, Sodom and Gomorrah, think of it like a city that makes your TikTok For You page look tame. I'm talking about wild parties, constant chaos, and a lot of people who just didn't care about doing better or honoring God. But God gave them time. He sent angels to warn them, but they weren't trying to hear it. Not only did they ignore the warning, they actually tried to harm the very angels sent to help them. Can you imagine? Someone shows up to help and you try to destroy them? That was the heart posture of the city. Lot, his wife, and their family were told to leave immediately. No looking back. It's go time. But Lot's wife, well, she looked back. And in that moment, her body may have turned to salt. But in today's terms, we'd say she froze. She got stuck. She couldn't move forward. Her healing was stalled. Let's keep it real though. If we should break it down in our own lives today, why do we keep looking back? Maybe we want to see their destruction. Because be honest, 99.9% of us, if someone has harmed us, we want to see them get their karma so that we can feel good. We want to know what they're also saying about us. We're still emotionally attached. We also miss the good parts. Yes, even in toxic places, there were moments that felt like home. And sometimes we want to go back. Whether it's a trauma bond or unfinished business, something pulls us. But here's the thing, looking back keeps us stuck. It reactivates the trauma. It pulls us back into chaos. It stalls our growth and lowers us to their level. We get pulled back into their instability. We re-traumatize ourselves. And spiritually, looking back can be a signal that our heart is still with the place we're leaving. We say we want to heal, but our gaze is still stuck in the past. But let's talk about what happens when we stay stuck. We may not turn into literal salt, but emotionally, mentally, our progress freezes. We become triggered every time we hear or see them. Their chaos spills into our peace. They know we're watching and they use it to provoke and humiliate us. Their manipulation creeps back in and causes us to doubt ourselves and set our progress back and shames us. And we realize they haven't changed and it hurts. But God's warning, it isn't to scare you, it's to spare you. He says, don't look back, not because he's cruel, but because he's protective. He's trying to help us heal forward. But let's talk about the power of moving on and God's role in justice. Here's the thing, eventually God does reveal the truth. He clears your name, he exposes lies, but if you're too busy fighting fire with fire, people see you as a part of the chaos. God says, I'll fight for you, but you have to move on. Just like Abraham flourished when he left, just like Lot was spared when he obeyed, just like you can heal when you let go. God examines the heart posture. Are you really ready to move forward? Or are you still emotionally tied to the pain? What if you looked back though? And if you looked back, you're not doomed. God doesn't expect perfection, He expects honesty. Lot's wife may have turned around physically, but spiritually, maybe her heart never wanted to leave. But if your heart does want to move forward, you can stop and say, God, I looked back. I feel stuck. I need help. If your posture is humility and honesty, He'll step in. He will guide you out. He'll release you from whatever still holds you. Now, the other part that I would like to talk about is, for real though, let's wrap it together because this isn't just a Bible story. This is my story. Like, you ever left a toxic relationship, walked away from a place that drained you, a job that disrespected your peace, maybe a terrible boss or just an awful coworker, and you wanted to look back? It's real, it's honest, it's open, and it's human. But the part that I said earlier about how looking back keeps us stuck, it's real too. That kind of emotional tethering breaks you down. You feel it. You feel it in your spirit, in your body, in your chest. You feel that sickness and that ache. And here's the part that hurts and heals at the same time. Nobody can move forward for you but you. So if you're stuck, really stuck, I want us to try something. Well, it's something that I've just started trying. It's praying the prayer of or the prayer of release. Because the prayer of release is the prayer that says, God, I'm stuck. I want to move forward, but I don't know how. Please help me to let go. That prayer, that's powerful because it's not performance. It's not pretty. It's raw. It's honest. And that's the kind of heart that God responds to. Let's be real. Most of us, we want to see them get their get back. Like 50 Cent level revenge, I'm talking. We want to see them go through what they put us through. But in another episode, I'll talk about how God often delays justice, not to punish you, but to also give them time to change, because He's not just a destroyer, He's a restorer, and He gives everyone the equal and fair opportunity to change. But here's what I realized. When you keep looking back, you stay emotionally tied to them and it stunts your growth. You stay in their drama, their karma, their chaos, and God can't move you into your healing and your calling if you're still tied to their harm. I used to wonder, why was Lot's wife punished so quickly though? Like, gosh, where was the grace for her? Maybe she missed the people. Maybe she was just scared. And that's where I struggled because I've been there too. I left a place that was so toxic and so dysfunctional, and still I looked back. I missed the few people who were kind to me. I wanted to know what they were saying. If they had missed me too, if they regretted what they did. And the more I looked back, the more my body shut down, literally. I felt sick. I actually felt my body turn to salt, crumbling, pain, dry, empty, tired, and drained. That's when I got it. That's when I really got the story. Lot's wife didn't just look back, she got stuck. Maybe if she had just prayed in that moment, like, God help me to let go, maybe the ending would have been different. And while the Bible doesn't say that she prayed, I believe that if we are stuck, and if we do, our ending can be different. Now, why God can't actually tear down what you're still tied to is another important question. Say, for example, you were in a space like a Sodom and Gomorrah type place where the people were so disrespectful to God. Their ways were so evil, so wicked, so callous, so awful. And in your heart, you're saying like, nah, God, like, you see the wickedness of these people. There's no way you're going to let that slide. You have to ratio them. But here's the thing. Because God is just, He's also merciful. He doesn't want you to become collateral damage when He decides to act in the way that He wants. He can't destroy a place or the people while your heart, your soul, and your spirit are still tethered to it. Let's go back to Sodom and Gomorrah though, shall we? In Genesis 19, God had already made a divine decision. Sodom and Gomorrah were going to be destroyed because the people them, in Jamaican terms, them did unrepentant and wicked bad. But before He did, He extended mercy to Lot and his family by sending angels to physically pull them out. That's how much God values a willing heart, even a hesitant one. Lot's wife was given a path to safety, a clear divine command to move forward without looking back, but she turned. She looked back. The Hebrew word used for looked in Genesis 19, verse 26, isn't just a casual word. It implies a longing, a fixation, an emotional yearning for what was behind. She didn't just break the rule, that actually revealed her heart posture. And that answers my question. Why was God just so quick to turn her into salt? Her heart didn't actually see the place as wicked, in my own opinion. There was part of her that still longed for all of the chaos and the destruction. And that's the key. God actually responds to heart posture. If your heart is still in Sodom, God knows that any judgment he pours out on Sodom will also fall on you, because he is a just God. He's not going to just treat your body like it's free if your spirit is still chained. So think of it this way. If you're holding on to a burning rope with both hands and God sets fire to the rope, what happens? You get burned too. Even if his goal is to destroy the rope, your grip puts you in the line of fire. What does Lot's wife teach us? Lot's wife teaches us that longing for what God is trying to save you from can actually destroy you. And that's why he waits. That's why justice is sometimes delayed, because he's giving you time to let go, to untie the cord, to release the fixation, the need to know what they're just doing. So when he moves, that it doesn't destroy you in the process. You see, the moment that we let go, God can actually move. It's not that he's weak. It's not that he's saying, oh, I'm going to let that slide, because he doesn't like to see injustice, especially towards vulnerable people. It's just that he's waiting for you to come out of the blast zone. In Genesis 18, Abraham actually pleads with God for the cities, asking if he could spare it for just 10 righteous people. That tells us that God doesn't delight in destruction. He doesn't just act impulsively. He searches, he waits, he gives space, and he gives time. But when no righteousness is found, when the people are still stuck in their wicked ways, their lies, their manipulation, their mockery, their humiliation, their pride, and their arrogance, when there's no one left who's trying to turn, then God acts fully, powerfully, and decisively. But he needs you to exit the emotional zone of destruction. And here's the beautiful part. The moment that you let go, truly, truly, truly let go, that's when he steps in. That's when vindication comes. That's when he silences the lies, exposes the truth, cuts off the ties, and deals with the wickedness, because you're no longer in the way of your own deliverance. Now, isn't that beautiful? Now, the final reflection I wanted to give is that Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt, not just because she disobeyed, but because she truly in her heart did not want to let go. Her eyes and her heart were still back there. She didn't trust that God's future was better than the past that she had known. Oh, that's so powerful, and that makes me so emotional. But you, me, we get to choose differently. We get to say, God, I release it. I don't want to be in the way anymore, because the second that we do, he rains fire, he breaks chains, he parts seas, and he delivers you. Not with salt, but with power. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I really hope that it was insightful, that you gained something from it. If you feel like someone else could gain from this episode, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. As usual, stay safe, stay empowered, and see you in the next episode of Spiritual Solitude with Soleil. Bye.